Good evening, everybody.
Hello, hello.
Welcome to another episode of Critique Corner with me, Daniel Parker.
And me, DB Fastbinder.
And if you are returning, welcome back. If you're new, what we do is we critique stuff. And lately, we've been delving into the world of free streaming services. Specifically, right now, we're focusing on Tubi, but we'll probably expand that out to like Pluto and like YouTube Free, that kind of stuff. But Tubi is a massive rabbit hole of weirdness and like
It's like somebody bought the rights to a rental store from 10 years ago.
yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Yeah, it's like if Blockbuster did a streaming service and didn't do memberships
and didn't well, okay, there's some new stuff on there, but
yeah.
Like most of it feels like you're in the Walmart DVD bin.
Yeah. Yeah, the $4.99 bin. Yeah.
Yep. Now I will say the one crippling flaw of it is I understand that you don't have subscriptions to make money off of, but can we do ad breaks more, like less than every 5 minutes, or like find natural places to put them? Like most of these movies had TV editions. Like you could have referred to those to figure out where you could put more ad breaks in a row or ads in a row.
Yeah, and
Just in
they're
fewer
very
places.
well. Not only that, it's very jarring too.
Hmm.
Like you don't know when it's gonna happen. Yeah, like I think Hulu back in the day, they would at least tell you like ad is coming, like they have like an icon at the bottom that says ad coming in 30 seconds. It's like, okay, yeah, you have some warning, something, but yeah.
Right. Or, I really like how Paramount Plus does it with movies, which is if you have the ad supported version, they just say, hey, we're going to show you a bunch of ads in a row, and then the rest of the movie is uninterrupted. Then if you come back to it later, they might show you another batch of ads again. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well,
but on the other hand, it's, as they say, the people in the cheap seats hiss the loudest. So,
that's true. Yeah. But to get us started off this week, for our reviews, we've got Rambo First Blood Part 2.
yeah. And so when I was looking up the poster for this, I saw some international ones. And I got to say, Rambo, The Mission was like seems to be like one of the international titles for it. I think Spanish, like was like La Misión, and it's like that's a much better title than First Blood Part Two.
Yeah.
First Blood Part Two doesn't make whole lot of sense.
No, it doesn't. Yeah. Well,
Although
actually,
I guess like I forget, was Rambo's title in the original movie? That could be why they have to try to tie it in.
no, it was just First Blood.
Okay, never mind. That's why.
Yeah. And good to see you, Arcos.
Hey, Marcus.
And he said the Walmart DVD bin can be fun. There's some interesting stuff in there, like the Knights of the Zodiac, completely in Spanish for some reason. Still, no idea what the anime is about. Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah, you could find some gems in the DVD bin at Walmart, and you can find some gems on Tubi as well.
For example, they have ghost stories. If you don't know what ghost stories is, let's just say nobody bothers watching the subbed version because Ghost Stories was made as ADV was collapsing in on itself in the late 2000s, and nobody was paying attention to what they did for this dub.
No, they didn't. Yeah, it is a fun watch. Yeah, but yeah,
But
but yeah,
back to the movie at hand.
right back to the movie at hand. But yeah, well, none of the Rambo titles really make any sense. I mean, you had First Blood, and then Rambo First Blood Part 2, Rambo 3 is the third one. The fourth movie is just called Rambo. And then the last one is Rambo Last Blood.
Isn't it John Rambo? Isn't one of them John Rambo, or am I misremembering?
No, I don't think so. But yeah, this movie is where the franchise went into silly territory.
Yes, and I recall hearing that the writer of the original novel, First Blood, had not positive opinions about this, and I can understand why, because it's an extremely different beast.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I've heard that too. But the book is pretty pretty depressing. And yes, the original ending didn't leave any room for a sequel.
Yeah, like well, we commented even at the time, like when we watched the
Yeah.
first one, like I felt like that was shot in a way that there was like an alternate scene where Troutman like realized he was too broken and just killed him.
They did originally shoot that scene, yeah, but then I guess the studio didn't like it because the studio wanted them to do a sequel, so they reshot the ending where it just is him getting arrested.
Yep.
And then of course, uh, which leads us into the movie, this movie where picks up where Rambo is in he's in prison, he's working in a basically doing labor. He's working in a labor camp, and it looked like a quarry. Just bashing.
Classic using sledgehammers to inefficiently break rocks and smaller rocks.
Right. Yeah. And so then Troutman shows up, and of course he's like, sorry, John, I tried to keep you out of going to a place like this. Yeah, okay.
Like how he killed multiple officers.
Well, he
Like,
killed one. He killed one, but he maimed a lot of them.
yes, okay.
Yeah, and he destroyed a small town.
Yep. Like I'm sorry. Like insanity defense or no, like you're done.
Yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah, so he's in prison, and then Troutman comes to him and says, "Well, I got a way to get you out of here, but you got to do a mission for me." And he's kind of vague on I can't. Does he tell him at the prison, or does he tell him later what the mission is?
Tells him later, I think.
Yeah, but he eventually he tells him, hey, I got this, opportunity for you, if you're interested. And Rambo's like, yeah, okay, yeah, sure. And it's the mission is to send Rambo into Vietnam to recon these prison camps because they believe that there are still some American POWs being held there, even though the war's been over for 10 years. And so, Rambo kind of sees this as an opportunity to well, they're going to let us win this time.
It turned out that in fact they were not going to let them win this time.
No, they weren't. Yeah. Sorry. But yeah, so Rambo goes to Thailand with Troutman. They give him the mission. He goes and drops into Vietnam, and then he meets his contact there, who's a young Vietnamese woman named what was her name? Ko. And yes, all Vietnamese women look just like her. But yeah, so he goes in to scout out the camp, and he finds out that there are in fact POWs being held there. But he's under strict orders to just take pictures and not, actually try to rescue any of them.
What do you know? We're breezing over a couple of things. There are some crazy scenes as he comes in. Like he loses his gear because he fails to get out of the airplane, right? So he has to cut himself loose.
Yeah.
He has to physically strangle a snake.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he strangled it. And he didn't punch it like the late Chuck Norris, rest in peace. Yeah. But what else happened in there? He and Co have to hitch a ride with these pirates.
Yep. And you see that they have an RPG, Russian made.
Yes.
As we know, RPG either stands for Russian, excuse me, rocket propelled grenade or Russian produced garbage, depending on your definition.
Yeah. Yeah, and of course, then there's this other subplot going in the movie with involving Troutman, of course, played by Richard Crenna, uh, where he's some things aren't quite adding up, and because they got this bureaucrat who's basically running the whole thing, and there's a lot of political maneuvering going on.
Yeah. What do you know? He is being set up to fail.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and so so the movie basically just goes into all this whole thing where Rambo is
Anyways, yeah, the loose cannon with extreme PTSD who is in prison because he went crazy and attacked the police repeatedly in this small town in the Pacific Northwest.
yeah.
Yeah. Goes rogue and tries to save like the one POW who is tied up outside that he could get at.
Right. Yeah, and
then they refuse to pick him up when they show up for the recon.
Right, because he wasn't supposed to find anybody there.
Right. I think there was like some sort of skullduggery where like they were supposed to have moved them.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and so Rambo, of course, gets really mad, and he goes full Rambo, and goes and rescues the. He has to go rescue the POWs, and then get back at the bureaucrat for being a jerk.
Yep. There's a lot of crazy action scenes in between. He has these explosive arrows that are basically magic. Like it's the type of thing where if Hawkeye had them in the Avenger movies, I think people would go, "Oh, that's too ridiculous."
Yeah. He was taking out like vehicles, cars, and trucks with him.
And like there's a scene where he pilots a stolen helicopter, and he sets up like the most implausible trap ever, but it works because that's the type of movie this is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like if I was watching this with some friends when I was 13, I would have thought this was the coolest thing ever.
Yeah. Yeah, but now at 41, you're like,
Okay, like I can enjoy just insanity. Like last week's Bloodsport, like that was just kind of I could have good natured fun with it, but
yeah.
I kept thinking, darn it, I hate it when I'm right. Because I predicted I would have similar feelings to this as I had about Death Wish 2.
Yeah.
Which is that you have an original movie that has a point of view and a premise, and like it's food for thought, and it's got some like okay, that chilling performance where Stallone is breaking down at the end of Rambo 1.
Yeah.
Or First Blood, where he's just talking like he just becomes an incoherent mess, like his voice rising and falling in pitch, and like I think that is probably his greatest single acting moment.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like it just makes you realize that as much fun as it's been to watch one crazy guy go through the town, it is a tragedy. That you have like that basically the US government turned this guy into a weapon and then gave him nothing to do and no help.
Right.
And you see it in Troutman's eyes as he realizes just how broken John Rambo is, and that he realizes just how badly he's let him down.
Yeah.
There is absolutely nothing even sniffing the boots of that scene in this movie.
No, there isn't.
No, like what this is this is a feel-good revenge fantasy on behalf of Vietnam vets who basically like okay, it's like it is generally like even the Tet Offensive, which was like where the U.S. population turned on the Vietnam War, was technically a series of tactical victories for the U.S. Yeah. It's just that like because it was televised in the way it was, people said, "No, this is bloody carnage. What are we doing here?" And like the U.S. government set a lot of restrictions on how the military could operate that just made it impossible to do more than delay the fall of South Vietnam. So it's like a lot of blood and treasure spent for a ultimately pointless endeavor, right?
Right. Yeah.
Uh, And so I understand how it could be cathartic for people who were closer to the event than I was to watch, first off, a movie where they acknowledge the bureaucrats as the villain, and you get to watch John Rambo in his native environment, um, uh, like massacring. Uh, I don't know if they'd technically still be Viet Cong, Vietnamese torturers and Soviet agents and things like that.
Yeah.
Like that's fun, but it's like my expectations were kind of are set on him talking about it in tears about how he can't find his friend's legs.
Yeah. 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 I'm with you there. Yeah. And I will say, I think the franchise does get back on track a little bit with the last two, especially the fourth one. Um, although that movie was, that movie was brutal. Um, but yeah, yeah, and I can understand that too. Yeah, because again, like this movie was only 10 years removed from when the Vietnam War ended, which in hindsight, as you older you get, you realize, well, 10 years wasn't that long ago.
Yep.
So yeah, I could definitely see that. Yeah,
Yep. Now, and that also kind of matches the trajectory of Death Wish, because we
yeah,
thought that, or at least I thought the second one was just kind of mean spirited and exploitative without any of the depth of the first one.
yeah,
But then the third one just embraced being a full cartoon. It's like, okay,
yeah.
now we can have fun.
Yes. And I will say Rambo 3 definitely fell into that category too, for just being a cartoon. It's,
The fact that it was dedicated to the brave fighters of the Mujahideen in Afghanistan is just mwah,
yeah,
takes it
yeah,
age like milk.
yes. Ooh. But yeah, yeah, I mean this movie is, it is what it is. It's not a, yeah, if you're expecting the poignant melodrama of the first movie, yeah, you're not going to find that with this one. This one, he's just, going all out, being an action hero.
He is a superhuman, and
Yes.
like on that level, the action is well shot. It's fun. It's just it's just not what I was after, or what actually it's what I feared, and so I probably would have been more open to it if I hadn't
Yeah.
expected it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like how if a movie is bad and you expect it to be bad, it just doesn't help it at all. Or if a movie is good and you expected it to be good, you don't like give it extra credit.
Right. Yeah.
It's like I thought this movie would be silly, and it was definitely silly.
Yeah. 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 But yeah, currently on Tubi. Yeah.
Yep.
Or I think it's on Tubi until the end of the month.
So not a lot of time to watch it.
Not a lot of
Uh,
time, yeah. Although Tubi, like they frequently cycle these movies through, so who knows? It might not be out for very long.
yep. Did you have any of your own thoughts? I kind of monologued for a minute there.
No, no, I could tend to agree with you. I mean, I thought the third act was a lot of fun. With all the different action sequences. And it's yeah, it is goofy, fun action there. Um, and I thought it, maybe it gave John Rambo a bit of a redemption arc, if in a way.
Oh
Give
yeah,
him
no,
the, yeah,
it's definitely it's kind of like the fantasy that John Rambo would have in prison.
right, yeah. Ooh, that could be a theory.
Oh,
This,
I wasn't even thinking about that.
yeah, this, maybe this is all yeah, all a fantasy in his head about it. Nah, yeah. But no, I mean it's decent enough. I mean,
Yep. It did apparently win a bunch of Razzies the year it came out, and I can see why.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. But it's a classic of a sort.
Yeah.
Now, changing gears slightly, this is something I watched on my own with some friends. And it's not on Tubi. It's on Crunchyroll, and it's an anime called Kaya-chan Isn't Scary.
Hmm.
The best way I could describe it is, what if Spy Family didn't have a secret marriage and was a horror series instead of a action spy comedy?
Hmm.
So the basic premise is that you have this kindergartner named Kaya, who also, Kaya-chan, Japanese diminutive nickname, um, and she's seen as a very bossy character at her kindergarten. Like she'll just randomly say, you can't swing on the swings, and bully people and make them go away. So nobody really likes her because she's so weird.
Yeah.
Um, and you have Chie over here, her well-meaning kindergarten teacher, who's really trying to keep her on good behavior, but she just can't figure out what's going on with this girl.
Hmm.
Well, it turns out that Kaya's deal is that she is one of, if not the most powerful psychics in the world, and so she is seeing dark demonic spirits
Oh.
that I don't know if they're attracted to her or what, but you have like she's seeing them, and so she's trying to keep people away from them. So it's like in the opening scene where she's bullying people away from the swings. You think it's just a bossy little girl who wants the swings to herself. No, she's trying to keep them from being fangoriously devoured by a ghost that's taken up residence there.
Oh. Hmm.
And the teacher gets a quick shot of what's going on, and is mildly terrified, but also now is in the position of trying to help keep her secret and like not get her punished or when she's just trying to help people.
Uh,
Now, the tone of this series is kind of interesting because on the one hand, a lot of moments are played for comedy. Like most of the time, Kaya-chan just like smacks down these ghosts like she's One Punch Girl.
no.
So at first it seems like there's no stakes to it. Like, oh, it's just going to be fun adventures of her beating up ghosts. Then you start to see consequences emerge or dark situations emerge, like like seeing and I'll give a minor spoiler here. There is one ghost that Kaya can't beat, and that is a ghost that has taken up residence upstairs at her house. And her either it is what her mother has become, or it is possessing her mother in some way. Which, like, oh, okay, I can see why she's a bit of a gloomy kid.
Mm.
Okay. If you're familiar with Japanese ghost stories, there are some familiar tropes here, like say, and this actually came up in Uma Musume Road to the Top, where if you're possessed by a ghost or troubled by a ghost, you might feel like pain in a body part associated with them. So it's like in one scene, a ghost is riding on her dad's shoulders, and like, oh, my shoulders have been so stiff lately, and like she, Dad, I forget if this is exactly what happened, but like, Dad kneels down, like, Daddy, can you go down for a second, and then she like smacks the ghost away. You had a bug. There are also a lot of situations where there isn't a clean resolution. Like somebody stays possessed, or the possessed items that they dealt with are just donated because another teacher didn't realize what was going on with them.
Oh.
But at the same time, a lot of scenes are played just for like school comedy and like the comedy around this kind of moody little girl being the most powerful psychic in the world.
Mm.
And this guy like, here, it seems like he's a pedophile joke.
Oh, jeez.
But what he actually is somebody who has a very tragic past where Kaya actually helped him out, but she wouldn't know him.
Uh,
Like, because, her ghost busting powers emerged early.
uh,
And so he's actually making it his mission to try to help her out in some way to repay her.
okay.
But they do definitely play with the stranger danger concept until you realize what's going on.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, we did it. We gave it the 3-episode rule. I rather enjoyed it. It's very different than my normal fare because I mean, like we talked earlier about the ADV shitpost classic ghost stories. Like that's usually about as far as I go into paranormal Japanese media.
Yeah.
Like it usually like shows up in something I'm watching rather than it being a reason for me to watch it. If that makes sense.
Yeah. 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 Myself. I watched the original Ring, and then The Grudge, and then there was a found footage one I watched not too long ago. I can't remember what it was called, but yeah, I get the what you mean with Japanese horror. It definitely it's a different feel to it than what we are used to in the West when it comes to like spirits and all that kind of stuff. It can be scary, but also kind of weird at times.
Right. I think that's part of why I enjoyed this one is like in a lot of ways it should be much more horrifying than it is, but the cute character designs kind of undermine that, which is and lead us to a lot of like tonal dissonance at times. That's just kind of funny. And then
Yeah.
it's like, that was like, oh wait, no, that's kind of a horrifying consequence of what just happened here.
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh.
But yeah, this is currently streaming on Crunchyroll. So if you want to give it a go, the series is called Kaya-chan Isn't Scary. And there's also a manga that I haven't sampled yet, published by Seven Seas.
Okay. I have a question.
Yes.
Does Kaya-chan refer to herself in the third person?
We ended up watching with the English dub, so I don't know.
Okay.
I do know I do know like that's much more common. Okay, at least in Japanese media, it's much more common to have characters refer to themselves in the third person.
Right, like Anya from Spy Family.
Right.
Arco says he says it's like Juni Ito and Miyazaki did a collab.
It's like Junji Ito and the creator of Spy Family did a collab. Is the way I would describe the tone best.
Okay.
Now, speaking of Seven Things,
yes,
we rewatched the original Magnificent Seven.
Yes, with Steve McQueen and Yul Brynner, headlining a rather large cast of actors from that time, from 1960. Which, and of course, we should point out too that this movie itself is a remake.
Yes, as we all know, this movie is a blatant ripoff of another classic movie. That, of course, being A Bug's Life.
Yes.
It also stole a little bit of inspiration from the gosh, I can't even remember the name of those stupid movies now. The Zack Snyder ones.
Rebel Moon.
Yeah, right. They thought they could just change the genre to Western instead of sci-fi and fool us, but now there aren't any like tentacle aliens in this one. But I know the influence when I see it.
Oh yeah. There was also an episode of Star Trek Enterprise. And
there was even an episode of the X-Men the animated series where Cyclops lost his powers temporarily and was helping out a small town.
Yeah, and there was also a episode of Star Wars: The Clone Wars where Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Ahsoka help out a little village. Um, but yeah, of course, all of it comes from Akira Kurosawa's Seven Samurai.
Yes. Oh, right. And I forget if I've seen Seven Samurai. No, I've seen whichever one was the inspiration for The Man with No Name. That's right.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I can't remember the name of that one. And yeah, I haven't seen it either. There are a lot of those movies I've been meaning to watch, like Seven Samurai, Hidden Fortress was another one. That was the one George Lucas used for the inspiration for Star Wars.
Mhm.
Um, but to get into this movie, yeah, the Magnificent Seven follows these seven gunfighters who they're hired by this village in Mexico because they've got this bandit, or kind of yeah, bandit guy named what was his name? Started with a C. Uh, Calavera, played by Eli Wallach.
Oh, that was Charles Bronson in this one. Okay,
Yeah. Oh, you didn't recognize him from his voice?
I thought I kept seeming very familiar, but did he have his mustache in this one?
No, he didn't.
See,
And
that's what threw me off.
well, he didn't have his mustache, and he was built like a tank.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. But yeah. So yeah, so you got Yul Brenner, you got Steve McQueen, and then yeah, like Charles Bronson. You also had one of them was oh yeah, James Coburn, who most people remember him from like movies like In Like Flint was his big one. And then Robert Vaughn was the other one. He was the one who was the dapper looking one who had obvious mental health issues.
Right. Obvious PTSD and just living under constant stress.
Yeah. He most people remember him from the TV show The Man from U.N.C.L.E. He played the Henry Cavill character on that TV show. And but yeah, those are the only ones I recognize. I didn't recognize the other, like the young guy. I didn't recognize Chico, and then the other guy who was like the thief, who was really only in there for the money, and he wanted to. He's like, oh, what are we doing? Why are you going down here? Is there a gold mine or a silver mine?
This was my second time seeing the movie, and his outcome was the one I remembered the best, just because it's so like sad in its own way.
Yeah. And hello, Richard. Good to see you.
Hey.
Yeah. I like the oldest movie star back in the day. Yeah, there is something about old movies like this. Yeah, there's some very magical about him.
Yeah, it's so one thing that just kept striking me was how economical it was with the characterization. Like
Yeah,
this is like a 2-hour movie. It
yeah,
doesn't need 8 hours of extended edition or whatever to tell what is ultimately a pretty basic story.
right. Yeah, and you don't need to go really far into their backstories to know what they're all about. Like you understand from the beginning what each character is, their motivation and why why they do what they do.
Right, like
Um,
Yul Brenner is the one who cares too much.
yeah, and McQueen is just kind of like I think he seemed like he's just kind of in it for the action, and and then the young guy Chico, he just wants to make a name for himself, or to be a legend. And then and it sounded like Bronson's character was just he just needed something to do, I guess.
Yeah, like he was doing some drudgery work and just like it's like he just needed an excuse to go do something with himself.
Right, yeah. But yeah, so they they all head down to Mexico to help out this poor village, and of course they run into all the various complications that come with it.
Right. Like li- like they've kicked all of the young women out of the village so that the cowboys didn't force themselves upon them.
Right.
But of course, yeah, that just puts them in more danger. So the cowboys force them back into town. Um, you, one of the other scenes that had stuck with me was they're eating like really well, and
Yeah.
like, oh man, these farmers must be doing so well for themselves. No, their dinner's like some rice and beans. So they end up,
Yeah, so they give them their dinner. Yeah.
and I remember one of them said to like a little boy, like he gets like his spoonful of their good food, and it's like, say, I don't suppose you'd happen to have a grateful older sister, would you? No, sir, just a grandfather.
Like, darn.
And the movie really is just full of all these nice little moments like that. Like again, like you get a sense of every character. Every scene has a purpose. There really isn't anything that's too self-indulgent.
Yeah. Well, there is one scene I do want to mention real quick. It's at the it's at the beginning of the movie, right when Yul Brynner and Steve McQueen. So there's a scene where they're in this town, and this guy wants to bury this guy who died in the middle of the town, wants to bury him at this cemetery, but they won't let him bury him in the cemetery because he's a Native American. And so then Brenner and McQueen are like, well, we'll take him up. They took the hearse and took him up to the cemetery so he can be buried. And there's, as they're both sitting on the top of the hearse, McQueen's got the shotgun, and he starts shaking the shotgun shells.
Mm-hmm.
That ticked off Yul Brynner because he thought McQueen was trying to upstage him.
Mm.
Yeah.
Which, considering it was McQueen, very astute of you, probably.
Yeah. But I don't know if you could call that self-indulgent, but
Somebody was being indulged.
yeah.
It did strike me like with the nature of racial relations in the U.S. in the U.S. in 1960, it almost that whole scene. So basically, what happened was there was a guy who was an Indian who had died, and they refused to let him be buried up at Boot Hill.
Yeah.
And so Brenner and McQueen make it a point to take him up there to get some proper burial, and they end up having to fight some of the townspeople who won't allow it. And it struck me as, oh, like in 1960, did they have to go out of their way to show that, to demonstrate that no, Yul Brynner would and McQueen would actually care about Mexicans?
Yeah. Yeah. That's a astute observation there. Yeah. Yeah. They would need a reason to care about these. Yeah. About this Mexican village. Yeah.
Right. And so it's like you just established that no, they legitimately care about justice and legitimately don't like racism.
Yeah.
Um, I also want to say that Eli Wallach as Calvera did an excellent job just being this larger than life petty villain.
Yeah.
Because like he dominated every scene he was in. He did a great job of like he projected all this strength, but at the same time he was just this big bully.
Yeah. Yeah. That opening scene when he shows up in the village and he just goes right on in there like he owns the place, and it's just like, oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, like in his first time he attacks. Oh, by the way, hey, Zack Snyder, in Magnificent Seven, it made sense for them to build a wall around the village because the enemy didn't have aircraft or heavy battle tanks.
Yeah.
Also, there was enough wheat that they would actually, or excuse me, there's enough corn that they would actually care, unlike the amount of wheat that that little Icelandic village you created could make to try to sustain a spaceship with.
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the scale actually makes sense in this one, you talentless hack.
Yes.
As a sidebar, the Superman movie from James Gunn had its issues, but that does not suddenly make the Snyderverse superior or a
Yeah.
valid interpretation of those characters in my eyes.
Yes.
Two things can have issues.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed.
Anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
I'll put $1 in the pointlessly bringing up Zack Snyder jar.
Yeah. That's all right. That's all right. But no, I mean this is a fantastic movie. I mean, whatever good things have been said about it, I guess we'll just echo those sentiments.
It was so good, it was extremely annoying how often the ad breaks happened, because they often
Yes.
happen in the middle of some really primo action scenes.
Right. Or they're, they transition to, or transitioning to an action scene, and then there's an ad break. Like, come on.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think my favorite scene, I think my favorite overall scene in the movie was the first ambush. Just because like the way they ambushed the villains in the middle of the town, and then like the villains' desperate attempt to get away as the townspeople turn on them.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It is often hard to discuss a movie that is just good, because it's easier to just point out where something is falling short rather than where something is amazing.
Right. Yeah.
But there's a reason that this basically brought over the Seven Samurai story to the States, and it's become such a cultural touchstone that has been endlessly ripped off, parodied in the case of things like Three Amigos.
Yeah.
People put their spin on it, and why they made a pointless remake a few years back.
Yes, with Denzel Washington and Chris Pratt.
Which Denzel Washington is a fine enough action star. I also like Chris Pratt in the right roles, but yeah, no, I don't even have to have seen that movie to know.
Yeah.
But there's no way it's half as good as this.
No. If they did another version of it today, it would be probably be Pedro Pascal and
Tom Holland, Zendaya would be there.
Yeah. Ooh.
Rachel Zegler would be one of the townspeople who would not be in a romantic relationship with the
with the young guy.
Yeah. Weird.
Yeah. Oh boy. But
who else do they keep liking to cram into things?
who
who played Wednesday?
the
one that Gen Z loves.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Or Jenna Ortega.
Yeah, she would be around.
Yeah. Maybe Glenn Powell.
Oh yeah, no, he would certainly be one of the Cowboys.
Yeah. But
I'm making myself sad even talking about that possibility.
I know, yeah. Well, Hollywood don't do remakes. The originals are fine. Just like this one is fine. You didn't need to do a remake of it.
Right, just do like they did and port the story to another setting. And no, just because it didn't work for Zack Snyder, damn it, I have to put another $1 in the jar.
Yeah. Well.
Anyway, good, great movie. If you can watch it in a format other than Tubi, probably you're better off. But Tubi, you just have to deal with the ad breaks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I think we've said all we need to say for tonight.
Agreed.
Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. We appreciate it as always. hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, ring the bell, all that good YouTube stuff. And just a quick reminder, Guardian Angel Part 2's Kickstarter is launching tomorrow. So if
Very
you
exciting.
yeah, and if you missed out on the Indiegogo campaign, you can back it on Kickstarter. There will be an exclusive variant cover that you can only get on there, and 2 posters. So
Very
definitely want to
nice.
get on that. Yeah, but until next time. Good night, everybody.
Good night.